like,
Not quite.
was it Freaknik 96? I don't understand. Like,
on crack. Just think Freaknik times 10.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And she had told me what she was doing when she was there, years prior, and would go every year. And I'm like, So that was.
But she told you that before you dated her?
No.
Or like she told you that in general?
Yes, she was like, that was like thought strike one, right?
Okay.
And then
so we're keeping score. Okay.
Yeah.
Strike one.
Then
okay.
She said, well, I'm going again to this thought destination to do some thoughty behavior. And I said,
and she was upfront with you about the thoughty behavior is what I'm getting at. Like she told you, she disclosed that she was planning to be
but she was like, I'm not gonna be doing that no more. And I was like,
So then why are you going?
That doesn't make any sense.
But you're going with all the other previous thoughts on the team. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
She went with the roster. Got it. Okay.
So I said, look, if you go, we done. She went, and she must have called me up 300 times.
She thought you were lying, man. You wouldn't break up with her over that. That's what she thought.
I literally had a conversation with her 9 years later.
Oh, wow.
See, but I still don't think that's ghosting because you had a very clear boundary set. Like, hey, we're together. If you are going to do this, we're not going to be together. And this is how I break up with people. Like, my not together means we not together. Don't call me. Don't text me. Lose my number. We don't need to Merry Christmas each other. We don't need none of that. Just goodbye.
But see, some people don't think
that. Exactly. When I quote unquote ghosted mine, I guess it wasn't because I told him the warnings up above. I was like, this is what I ain't going to tolerate. This is what it is. If this happens, then you won't hear from me again. It happened. He didn't hear from me again.
See, that's not ghosting. The whole concept of ghosting is I don't see you, hear from you, or get an explanation why you just disappeared. That's not, none of these qualify.
Y'all gave warning. So at least you gave warning. Will, you told her, hey, if you go, we're done. Michelle, you told him, hey, if you don't stop eating all my salad, we done. You came back to eat all the salad.
Ghosting is actual. Like, I will give you an example of being ghosted. I was talking to somebody for maybe like 4 weeks, like back and forth. We were supposed to meet for a date. He no-showed to the date. Never heard from him again. Called, didn't get a phone response. Text, fell off the face of the earth. I was like, are you alive? Like, I'm sitting, like, that's the kind of stuff I'm saying. I don't care if you ever talk to me again. I just want to make sure you're not dead. Never heard from him.
No, at that point, I want him dead. Yeah, if that happens, you can die.
I felt some kind of way. Yes.
Wait.
But
y'all were talking for a couple of weeks? And you just ghost him?
Ghosting. Yeah.
That's ghosting.
That's ghosting.
Whoa. Wait. So, do you go to their social media and see if they updated? Like, to see if
I don't care. I didn't.
I have been ghosted before. I still don't know what happened. After a while, I'm like Sean. I'm like, are you okay? Is everything all right? I'm concerned about you.
I'm concerned about your life.
Michelle. I'm like, I don't know. But see, no, Michelle, because you have to be concerned. If you were seeing someone and now they just disappear, they could have gotten a car accident on the way home. They could have, I don't know. Yeah. Anything could have happened. But like Will, if I see you updating your social media,
that's
I have my answer. You're fine. You're just a jerk. So now I'm on Michelle's side. I don't care if something happens to you. If something happens to you, that's karma.
And that's where I was. I just didn't check up. I didn't check social media, but it was one of those, like, we had confirmation conversations the day before. Like, hey, I'm going to be here. And like, he lived in Texas. He was traveling from out of town. And I was like, are you, you're all good. You're squared away. Yeah, I'll meet you at this, pick the restaurant and everything. This is where we're going to go. So I legit thought something had happened to you because I was like, for real, like, seriously? Why even call and confirm if you're going to be a no-show? Even if you're going to be late, like, just say I'm not going to be able to do it, cancel. And so I sent him a very interesting, long-winded conversation via email. If you colorful conversation about how it's just disrespectful. Because I didn't want to call you and I didn't have anything to say to you physically. I had things to say, but I didn't need to say them to you because you didn't need to explain. It was just more of like, it's courtesy to not have somebody waiting in a restaurant. Like, I don't care that you don't want to come see me. I didn't care that you didn't want to date me. I didn't care about any of that. I give two shits. I was sitting in a restaurant by myself looking like, Bobo the Clown. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I had a great meal. Shout out to my waitress because she gave me lots of drinks. Love her. And she was like, is he coming? I was like, guess not, girl. I'm going to eat this meal by myself. Thank you. Like, I had a good time. But at the end of the day, it was just like, I thought you could have been flying in late. Something happened to you. Like, it's just courtesy.
So you just never got an explanation and didn't care.
Yeah.
Nope. I never got an explanation, but I did send my feelings on it.
So
because I'm a clear communicator.
In some kind of way.
I submitted the closure that I needed. I didn't expect closure, but I provided closure.
I don't know which one is worse, not getting the explanation or getting an explanation.
That's what you do.
I got an explanation as to why I was ghosted, and it was not the explanation I expected. It was some real modern stuff, and I wasn't ready for it.
Which was?
Really, like she said, I'm going to make it work with this girl I was seeing. And I was like,
somebody else.
It wasn't the somebody else part. It was the fact that she said this girl that I've been seeing. And I was so confused. And
like, you have a legit partner and didn't tell nobody?
I was like, what do you mean? She was like, well, I go both ways. And I was like, no.
That's news to me. News to me.
Yeah,
she's like, well, I play basketball. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Stereotype much?
Stereotyping yourself. Like, I'm all open and so what? You play ball, but you also model. I don't know. So when she told me that was just a real sting.
If she plays softball, that's different. So that's totally different.
Also a stereotype.
Yeah, he would.
I know some that are both spots, but they go both ways, and they just only like men. You can be whoever you want to be. It's 2021.
Shade size and a tongue ring or something that you were supposed to know.
You could be in 2021. You could be non-binary, whatever the fuck that.
Yeah, you can have no identity at all. Just
stop using terms you don't know.
So another pet peeve. Since we're talking about dating profiles. For all those people who are trying to be gender neutral or whatever, listen, you don't get to have everybody. It's not fair. Stop being greedy. You don't get to be greedy. Like, pick. Because there's enough going on in the world that I have to deal with a lot of things. I don't need to be able to deal with all that. It's just not fair. So
that's why I said that. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about how it's changed. I just thought about this yesterday, though. We were going to get something to eat, and I was talking to my wife, and I said, things have changed so much. I was like, everything's changed. I said, when I was growing up, we didn't have the internet as much. The internet was just coming out in high school. We're just getting exposed. So we didn't have all these options. I'm going to be honest with y'all as I'm wearing my church shirt. I told her, I was like, look, if you wanted to watch an adult video, you had to download it the night before. And it wasn't like you had choices.
I hope the quality was good. Hope the quality was good.
You got a VHS.
It's bad. And you got to deal with whatever you got. I'm like, you don't have a choice. You just spent 8 hours downloading this 20-second to 15-minute clip. This is what you got to work with now. Nowadays, everybody has options, so much so that no one wants to make a decision. No one wants to make a choice. It's I want everything, and I don't want consequences.
Yeah. And then it also is, I think, a level of like I can do and be anything and everything without having any impacts. Like nowadays, like you think about where it was when I was in college, like you go out with a guy, you're good. Like you don't know what's going on. You go with a girl, now I got to ask all kind of qualifying questions. Aside from, do you have a partner or two partners? Right. Are you poly? Are you all these other things? I also got to know, did you used to be another gender? Do you used to be like, you got to ask all these questions because people have the option to be so many things, which is fine, but it's a matter of like now you have to do even more get to know you kind of conversation because you can have like you had where you were dating somebody and they were like, well, my other person is of the same sex and I just don't want to be bothered with you anymore. So, or you can be in the spaces I've been in where there's been a lot of like, we want you to be our third. But you want to join my relationship with somebody else. And I'm like, what the hell?
The girl she settled down with is a really cool girl. I actually know her too.
She's like, yes, you chose right.
But how do you ask that question?
Say what, Michelle?
How do you ask that question? Like, that's not like a first date
to be another human being.
No, meaning like, okay, so
you just asked.
You didn't know to ask her, hey, are you into girls? Y'all are just, hitting it off or whatever the case may be. So how do you get into that conversation?
You have to ask everybody that now. I think women have to ask that question too, because there's a lot of men who are into other men who are into other women. Like you never know. And I think it's just, you ask them about their past relationships. Like who did you date last? Like, what were they like?
Yeah.
What if their name is gender neutral? What if their name is Terry? You'd be like, okay, is that a girl or a guy? Like,
from then on, after her, I just straight out asked.
Right.
Yeah, I asked already. So
what's your sexual preference?
I have always asked that question.
Has it always been that way?
Probably college. I've asked that question.
Is it a recent change?
Do you date women? Do you prefer women? Do you
see? That's harder. It's a harder question for women to ask men. But you have to ask, especially in Atlanta. Like, do you like a I don't know if anybody remembers that episode of Insecure where
Absolutely.
Molly was dating the guy who
Yeah.
had he did something when he was in college. It's one of those, like,
Something
Atlanta is
figured out.
right for all of that, so you kind of have to ask. And I think it's always nice to tag it into kind of sexual health question, because it's kind of like, you know, you get STDs testing regularly, like what kind of partners do you have? Like, it's easier to have it in that frame of conversation if you're being an adult about your dating. But
guys don't get
it's
that
hard.
luxury though.
It's
Women
hard.
can say, I've met a lot of women over the course of dating before I got married, and they're like, you know, I had experiences with with the same sex, with the opposite sex. Guys
Dipping
don't
in
get
lady
that luxury.
pond.
Yeah.
If you come out and say well, you know, this one time in school, that's it for you. That's a wrap. I know
It's much more stigma for men.
there's a famous gospel singer, William, you may have heard about him, that came out saying that basically he feels like he's going to be alone forever because of his earlier choices that he made. And I think he was engaged to a woman at one time.
Yeah, and he
and when he came out, say what?
He was mentioning he has urges, obviously, still toward men.
He's still attracted to them then. Like,
yeah.
Why don't you just date a man?
Because it's not
I think he
acceptable.
prefaced it with gospel singer. I think
Correct.
Yeah.
that would be fun.
But okay,
Stay tuned for part 2.
You know about that world. It's not like that on the
They're not gonna be open with it now, though.
God loves everybody.
Well, go to the
He
gay
does.
church then. There's not a gay church that do that stuff.
In
Oh,
Atlanta,
my God.
In Atlanta, I think, with the First Man.
Yeah,
Well,
they do exist.
Go where you're accepted. Then, if you're worried about being accepted, go where you're accepted.
I'm actually with you on that, Michelle. I think that people need to live their truth and just get the hell out of my area. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know.
So I don't care what you do, just don't bring it over here.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm with it. Like, you know, I mean, it's, you know, you just do it on your side of town. You know, not in my house. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, I got very good friends that do that, and I'm like, I'm cool. That's what y'all want to do. Just don't bring it to me. The only time I have an issue with it is when they're trying to infiltrate you. Like, you know, you want to try it? No, nigga, I don't. Like, just like somebody asks you want to try crack. No, I don't.
They be trying to
Okay.
you,
It's not. It's not like crack.
It is. It's a different kind of crack.
It really isn't. Really not at all.
There's a point there.
That's funny.
Different kind of crack, but
like crack though.
results are pretty detrimental. Like, I thank God I've never really been approached on that level. But I feel like with women, it probably happens a lot more. Yeah. I figure with women, it happens a lot more than men.
You'll see, it's because of the ponytail.
It happens a lot all the time.
You gotta bring it down. You gotta bring it down sometime. Let them know. Do like that.
Happens all the time.
Those are fighting words with a man. If you approach a man on that level,
It's fighting words with women too.
No, and I have no idea how we got on the subject, but
We've gotten way past pet peeves.
Well, it's kind of a bit evil.
When I worked at Lenox Mall, I think that was I started thinking differently about it, because I got hit on so many times by dudes.
It was just like, I might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, you can't. Well, no, you can't fight everybody. You just can't be pissed at everybody. You just gotta be like, nah, I'm good, bro. You know?
Sometimes I think if you think about it, it's not a personal like insult. Like, it's not like someone's like, oh my God. I mean, if you take it for what it is, it's just somebody finding you attractive. Like, people find you attractive, whether they're the same sex or not. Like, I don't mind a compliment. I appreciate it. And I will tell you, I've been approached in many different ways and many different scenarios, and I don't feel like personally attacked by it in any way, shape, or form. I'm always like, thank you, just not interested, or thank you and I am interested, and we'll talk about it later. Like, it depends on the scenario.
It's not insulting. It's just more so the approach that makes me feel some kind of way.
Text me, okay?
Right.
No,
here's my contact information. Call me. Don't text me.
No, the time I got on that in Linux was one time I.
Oh yeah, because they be calling him Almond Brown.
And
this
dude was like asking me questions. Did not look gay at all. Asked me questions and was like, so my hair was longer and he had longer curly hair too. So he goes, so a man just come out of nowhere and goes, what do you put in your hair? I'm going, like pink oil moisturizer. I don't even know, right? Then he was
shampoo, conditioner.
Yeah. So then he started talking about hair. So he was like, yeah, man. So what you got to do is do like the conditioner, leave it in. You know what I'm saying? And he was like giving me tips. At the
But
same
why
time,
are you
Friendly, very
friendly, sir?
friendly.
look, I totally did not think anything. So he was
You sit
trying
there.
on glasses at the store. I wear the sunglasses at. So he got on glasses. And then he goes, yeah, so what school you go to? I'm like, Georgia State. Then he went to Morehouse. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. But I wasn't really like locking in on him. I was kind of like this, and
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes like, yeah, man, so what are you doing tonight? Like, let me, write down, let me write down your number. And I was like,
For what?
you say what now? I was like, no,
You don't need that.
no.
You don't need that number.
But it happened so
So quick.
smooth.
So smooth.
It's happened so smooth. I was like, what is happening just now?
Tune in to part 3 Monday.